Hi, my name is Stephen Partita, and I'm going to show you what the fundamentals of a beginner percussion student should be. They're going to start with actually three things. One, the hand position. Two, how it relates to your arm. And three, how it relates to the instrument in front of them. So to start, the hand position. Now your hand is going to generally look like this. So let's break this down. To start, the fulcrum. The fulcrum is established with your thumb and your pointer finger. You're gonna use the fleshy part of your thumb, or the pad of your thumb, with the area in between the first and second knuckle of your first finger. So you'll generally put your thumb, the fleshy part of your thumb, in contact with this area. Now the next part we're going to address about the hand is this space here. I'm going to refer to this as the garage door. Your garage door shouldn't be too open, because notice how your fulcrum has just been dislodged and the pad of your thumb is not in contact with the fulcrum anymore. But also, your space, your garage door here, can't be too closed, because notice the tension and the muscle pull that requires that to happen. So you want your garage door to be slightly closed, not a whole lot of space there, but again, it's not going to be completely closed because that is tension. So from here, we're going to put the fulcrum onto the stick. Now this is a Vic Firth concert stick, and what you can see about this Vic Firth stick here is that there's a little American flag. This American flag is about a third down from the stick, or at the bottom third of the stick where my thumb is here, and this is where you're going to put your fulcrum. So again, the fleshy, meaty part of your thumb, let's put that right on top of the American flag, and the second half of the fulcrum, your pointer finger, will rest behind the stick about the first or second knuckle. And again, garage door, slightly open or closed. And now from this point, turn your hand over and let's look at your back fingers. Your back fingers here are simply going to wrap around the stick. And that's all there is to it. There's no tension. You just simply bring your hands, the back three fingers, around and wrap them around the stick. Now, something to note here that's very important. Make sure that there is no tension in the hand. There should be no hard squeezing of the stick. So, you should only be hanging onto the stick enough to where if you were to relax any more, the stick would fall right out of your hand. So only hang onto the stick just enough to hold this actual stick up in your hand. Somebody should be able to come by and grab the stick and be able to pull it out of your hand very easily, because you are not hanging onto the stick hardly at all. So, now I'm going to address how this relates, the hand position relates to your arm. So we're going to actually put the stick down and just simply drop your arms by your side. Maybe shake out your arms a little bit, roll out your neck, just to make sure your shoulders are nice and relaxed and loose and natural. So feel the natural position that this is. Notice where your upper arm is in relation to your body. There's a natural space here. Your arm's not wide out to the side, and your arm's not hugging the inside of your body either. It's very relaxed. There's a very natural space right here. The second thing you got to look at and address is the wrist and the placement and the natural extension that your hand is to your forearm. There are two planes here that I kind of refer to just to be detailed enough about this. And the first plane is this top plane here. This top plane is just the top of your forearm and the top of the back of your hand. And it's a very straight and very natural and relaxed plane. The second plane is this side here. And that's again very straight and very natural. These planes are established when you simply relax and drop your arm. You feel it, and if you look down at your arm, you can see it. Your arm is just very natural, very straight. Your hand and your wrist are a straight, natural extension of your forearm. So now you simply put a stick in this. Right, so establishing the stick grip again. Fulcrum, garage door, fingers around the stick, and relax and drop it by your side. Remember, upper arm and the planes of the hand. The straight, flat plane here, and the straight, flat plane here. Very natural, very relaxed, very easy. I am just being this detailed so that you understand every single concept behind it. But generally, just understand relaxed and natural. So, you have two sticks, you put them both in your hand, nice and easy by your side. Maybe shake it out, roll out a little bit, be nice and relaxed with the sticks by your side. The next thing we're going to address is lifting the stick. So I'm going to say lift at the elbow, or lift from the elbow, and this will happen. Watch. Now watch again. Notice how my upper arms haven't moved. My upper body is still relaxed and just very natural by my side. And I'm simply bending at the elbow to lift the sticks. Now the next thing we have to address here is the hand position in relation to where it needs to be to the floor. So when I bend at the elbow, and I'm very relaxed, very natural position, the palm of your hand, this actual palm right here, needs to be pointed towards the ground. I call this flat palms because the palm of your hand is literally flat and flat towards the ground. So when you put a stick in your hand and your palm's right here, just have it flat and parallel to the ground. So we relax, shake it out a little bit, we bend at the elbow, and we hold flat palms. Make it flat towards the ground. Notice what happened here. My sticks are pointed towards each other and made this triangle shape. This is a good thing. Do it again. Bend at the elbow, flat palms, triangle shape. Notice the planes, the two planes that I talked about earlier. This front plane that's on top and this side plane here are both very relaxed and in their very natural position, just as if your arm is by your side. Let's do it again. Bend at the elbow, flat palms. Now this triangle, or pizza slice as we can call it, is about a 90-degree angle, maybe a little bit more acute than that, or less acute than that. But from here, we are going to address a couple things. Your beginners are going to want to do this. Now what's wrong? Two things. One, your shoulders have kind of shrugged up a little bit, and your arms have closed the gap, the natural gap, and are hugging your side. You got to make sure you're relaxed and your arms are relaxed too. The second thing is the wrist. Notice how my wrists are kind of bent in towards each other. You got to make sure that this wrist here is pushed out and that this plane is not broken on the side or on top. And you will make about a 90-degree pizza shape. Another problem though, we can't have students do this. If students do this, they are flexing their upper arm in order to lift their arms and create this wide stance. We do not want that. So again, just make sure you're relaxed, you bend at the elbow, flat palms, you made the triangle shape. Now from here, we're going to address the relation to how high or how tall the instrument should be in front of you. I can be relaxed as possible, right? I can bend at the elbow, I can do flat palms, and I can be very relaxed, but I can be very relaxed right here, and I can also be very relaxed down here. So where in this area of motion should the drum be? Should the drum stay, and how my sticks should be in relation to the drum? Well, let me show you. So in relation to the drum, you should keep all those fundamentals the exact same. And the biggest problem that I see with beginner percussion students is this one that I'm about to talk about right now. What's wrong? Let me show you from the side. What's wrong? This right here, this plane. Notice how this natural plane that we had when our arms were relaxed by our side, the plane on top has been broken so that the students can play on top of the head. This is a big no-no, and here's why. Put your stick down. Put your hand in that position. Now what I want you to do is flex. Flex your fingers, make a fist. It hurts, right? You can feel the tension and you can feel the strain that's happening in your forearm. This is a big no-no. We do not want tension in our technique. and this will hurt a student later. So this drum is too high for me as a student. So let's lower it. Now this is the next problem that we have to address here, and it's the exact opposite of what we just talked about. The drum, in this case, is too low. Why? This concept of the plane again. Here's our relaxed plane position. Here's the plane we just established. Right? The plane has been broken once again, and this has caused tension. And here's why. At this level, your plane obviously wants to be straight and relaxed right here, but we have our plane right here. So from here, you try to flex your fingers a little bit. It's easier, right? It's not too bad yet. But what we're going to do later is bend at the wrist to play the drum. So pull up on the wrist. You can feel that you're very limited in motion. You can't really pull up very high. And that's a problem when we want to drum. We want to have as much motion and flexibility in our wrist as possible. And the best way to achieve that is to have this flat, straight, relaxed plane and relaxed extension of the arm. So this drum, for me, since my plane broke here, is too low. So let's raise it. Now, without even using the drum yet, how high should, if we want to get into specifics here, like very detailed, how high does the stick need to be from the ground? Or how high do I need to come up with my arms when I bend from the elbow? Generally, a good rule to kind of use is the stick itself is going to be flat, completely flat and completely parallel to the ground. Okay? That is going to cause my arm here to be slightly pointed downward. So here's my parallel stick towards the ground. Here's the angle of the ground. Here's the angle of my arm. Show you again. Here's the angle of the ground. Here's the angle of my arm. This is a good thing as long as the stick is parallel to the ground. So let's bring that over to the drum. We'll establish that first without even going to the drum yet. I bring the stick up. The stick is parallel to the ground. The plane's still established on both sides. I'm very relaxed in my arm. And I'm going to simply move that over the drum. This is actually a perfect height for me. Notice how when we do this and we establish this height with the stick parallel to the ground and my arm in a very relaxed position and I move it over the drum, it's about an inch off the head. This is a very good position for me. This is almost perfect. So those are the things that you want to think about and always be aware of when teaching beginner percussion students. Number one, the hand position, which we'll review right now. Fulcrum, garage door, back fingers, all wrapped around the stick, and you're not death gripping the stick. Very relaxed. You should be able to pull it out very easily. The second thing is relaxing and having our hand position relate very naturally to the rest of our arm. Our upper arm is not too far apart from our body and not completely touching our body either. It's the very relaxed and natural position it can be. Same thing with the rest of the arm. The fulcrum and the extension that is the forearm and the extension of the hand is very straight, very relaxed, and very natural, just as if you have your arms hanging by your side without a stick in it. And then again, you bring your sticks up to the drum. You have flat palms. Your planes here, your two planes, the front top plane and the side plane, are still in straight and still in contact. None of this, right? Flat palms, planes still established. You have your pizza in front of you, and the stick itself is parallel to the ground, and you bring that over the drum. And that is the first steps to becoming a percussionist.